Welcome to the Real News Extra. My name is Fred. I'm the operations manager here at RELAW APC, and joining me today is Jennifer Felten, the principal and founder of RELAW APC. So Jennifer, what protections does the new Mortgage Forbearance Act provide for wildfire victims, and how long do they last?
Yes, so in California earlier this year we had major wildfires in a couple of different areas, primarily Pacific Palisades and Altadena. We had severe losses of homes, and people don't realize that just because your home burns down doesn't mean you don't still have to pay your mortgage.
Right.
So you don't have a home, but you're still paying the bill to the lender unless you make decisions like sell the property, things like that. Okay. And so a forbearance is a way to get the lender to not make you pay, but it doesn't mean you don't owe the money, right? So a forbearance is a delay. Okay. And what will happen in a forbearance situation is that instead of making the payments for whatever time you're under the forbearance, you don't have to make the payments, but that money is still owed. So you would either pay it as you're paying it off later, or when you go to sell it, it would be part of the calculation in your payoff, right? So the government cannot force the lender to waive your contractual obligations, right. But in this case, they can make them wait. Got it. So the concept of a forbearance is the lender's going to wait to get their money. And so the forbearance law specifically affects the people with those fires, and it gives them the ability to get up to a year delay in their payments. So there are 3-month intervals that you would request a forbearance up to a year, and the lender is obligated to give you more time to pay, so that you're not having to try and make a mortgage payment and pay rent and figure out what you're going to do with your property while things are in flux.
Okay, so how does this new rule strike a balance between lenders' rights and families' recovery needs?
Right. So in California, I think if the legislature had their way, they'd make the lender forgive the money. Right. Not maybe the whole thing, but there's a desire to protect the consumer. Okay. Right. So this does not take away any of the rights of the lender. They're still entitled to everything that is owed to them. It's just going to be collected at a later date. So it is still preserving their rights. If we did something different, if the government tried to do that, it would be considered a taking, which is illegal. So within the scope of what our law allows, this gives these people time to recover, but still the lender's going to get their full recovery at some point.
Okay, so what is covered under this new law?
Right, so again, if it is homeowners in what's called a 1 to 4. So our lending rules consider a single family residence, a duplex, a triplex, or a quadruplex residential.
Okay.
So this covers residential properties in the burn areas. So if you owned a residential property, you're able to make this request to your lender to get this forbearance. You couldn't do it if you had a commercial property or a 10-unit apartment building, things like that. It's designed truly for those homeowners to give them time for recovery.
Okay, well, thank you. And thank you for watching the Real News Extra. If you're enjoying this content, I invite you to click on like or subscribe, and of course, ring that little bell for future notifications. My name is Fred. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.